Whoops, that's the wrong shotgun we're reviewing today. Let's take a look at the Astilla, which is by far probably my favorite primary I'll ever use ever because it's just so freaking good. So the Astilla is a slug action shotgun that can snipe people from a far distance away. It's exclusively in the Gara collection, not really. You can get it anywhere, and it's very cheap to build. So I'm going to be showing you two separate builds. Each of them have their own kind of unique factor to them, and I'm going to also show you this compared to the Tiger's Prime, which surprisingly this one does a lot better. And not meaning to spoil it, but well, you'll see why in a second. So we're going to test it out with 3 different frames because it still has a unique feature where it shoots slugs, but also does AoE damage. And the AoE damage can also go on the same enemy that you shot. So, like I said, let's take a look at it. We're going to turn on Warframe Invincibility with no weapon buffs or anything, and this is a standard hybrid crit build. And this build just slays, so turn on Warframe Invincibility because we're gonna go 4 Corrupted Heavy Gunners. Now, the one thing this weapon has the weapon that this doesn't have is good ammo. So you're gonna see that those crits are absolutely devastating, and that AoE blast is devastating. You can shoot at the floor if you want, and it does damage, but if you shoot at their head, it's gonna do that and the explosive damage, which is why it's so deadly. See, this enemy's already at half health, completely wrecks him. I know there's one more guy left. So as you can see, I'm hitting at the body, I'm doing a little damage. Aiming at the head, I'm doing a lot more damage. Now the slash damage on this thing might be it's like 49% slash, which is stupid because the slash damage really doesn't do anything at all. So my original build was Sweeping Serration, but instead I removed that and put in Contagious Spread, mainly because it just gives me extra corrosive damage. So here's the build once again: Vicious Spread, Contagious Spread, Hell's Chamber, Primed Ravage for extra crit damage. This thing has a surprising amount of crit damage. Maxing this mod out will also provide you with a lot of goodness to it, and it's a 2-former build, and once I get Prime Point Blank, you guys already know that this weapon is going to be top tier. Shell Shock, Toxic Barrage for corrosive damage, Blunderbuss for 90% crit chance, and well, we come out with this outcome. Now this is a build that is purely based on no crits, no crit damage, but pure raw damage. So we have Blaze, we have all of this: Charge Shell, Contagious Spread, Toxic Barrage, Shell Shock, Vicious Spread, Point Blank, and Hell's Chamber. Let's test it out. This one takes up more mod slots, and it's not as fun in my opinion, but you guys tell me. It doesn't do nearly as much damage, but it burns them alive, so you're gonna see it, like I told you, it just doesn't do as much damage, and this one's a raw damage build. You're gonna see that a crit hybrid build just dominates, and also burning them. I don't know why people, do it, but they use a lot of heat mods now, and it does the most damage over time, but unlike Slash, it doesn't make more armor. Once you get those corrosive procs on them though, you'll do a lot of damage, but it's all about those crits. It's all about that crit hybrid. So next we're going to take the 2 builds through Volt Shield, through Nidus's thing too, because it has the AoE. We'll take it through Volt Shield, Nidus's Larva, and Chroma's abilities, because this thing is going to be surprisingly good when killing an Eidolon. A lot of people don't believe it because it's all about snipers, but I'm telling you the truth. So this is the crit hybrid build. Next, this is shooting through Volt Shield, which grants you extra crit damage and electricity damage. Shot these guys. As you can see, do lots of damage. And the damage over time on it is just so much better. And you can shoot them from behind a corner. I do recommend bringing a carrier prime though. Highly recommend it. it did a lot better that time, but it also gained extra crit damage. So it also gained extra electricity damage, which is nice because that means extra corrosive damage. That means just extra damage, period. So next we'll take the basic build, which doesn't reward it too much, but it does a lot better with Volt Shield. It really does. It does so much better with Volt Shield, and I would recommend taking this build out when it comes to slaying the Eidolon. Slash damage also, or the splash damage also makes up for not as much accuracy. I have really bad aim in this game, so yeah, that's pretty much Volt's version of the Astilla. We're gonna take it through Nidus's test now, which is going to be nice, I guess. Get Nidus. We're gonna only use Larva. Only Larva. This is, I believe this is just the raw damage build. So just hip fire it, and you'll do a lot of damage over time. Yeah, this is the raw damage build. And it just completely eats them and chews them up. One thing you can do with the crit build is like replace Vicious Spread with a mod like Shrapnel Shot, which gives you 99% crit damage, which is nice. You get the aim though, which I mean with the Astilla isn't too big of an issue. This is the crit. This is the crit hybrid build. See, a lot more crits in there, a lot more damage over time, and a lot more killing. And I'm not aiming for the heads. I'm just shooting into the larva. And you're going to see it doesn't withstand the duration of the larva, but it has a lot more crits in it. And the damage over time should finish him off. It did much better that time in my opinion, but hey, whatever. The crits is so good. Crits in hybrid is so good. Next we'll take it through Chroma's test, which is my personal favorite because you get extra damage and elemental damage with Chroma, and he's just super powerful to begin with. One thing I do want to make clear is I will be using growing power with Chroma, so I will be doing this. Perhaps I'm not using the growing power build. This is the wrong build. That's the right build. Activate Vex Armor. This. Have him shoot me. Get that damage up. And you're going to see that this just completely dominates enemies. I probably just let Slash finish him off, but that's a 56,000 crit right there. And yeah, that's Chroma. Next, we're going to use the raw damage build. Same status, same everything, just a lot more damage. Which means it should be better with Chroma, right? Let's see, let's find out. Like I said, we are going to use the Growing Power. Because Growing Power just increases Chroma's stats a lot better. So 3 shots, 2 shots, 3 shots, and also kills him. So, you guys let me know in the comments below if the pure elemental did better or if the crit did better. I'm honestly stoked because they both perform pretty much the same with the buffs. But without the buffs, the crit just does a lot more. Mainly because these are damage percentages, and this one scales much higher with buffs. So it also, the damage also drops off very frequently, and you see that it's just completely so much damage. So with like buffs and stuff like that, it's all about the pure elemental. But when it's down to just raw gameplay, I do think it's going to be all about the basic crit hybrid build. So I recommend crit hybrid build for those critical slashes. If you do, have fun and enjoy the Astilla, because this gun is just absolutely amazing. So this is your standard crit hybrid build. A magazine to take out a guy if you can hit him in the head most of the time, which is nice. It also depends on the corrosive procs and all the procs you can get. That's just 3. Let's see what kind of damage we do to him. Done. So yeah, I do think the crit hybrid build's a lot better, in my opinion. I do appreciate it, but it depends on which one you guys want to go with. Anyways, this is probably my favorite primary in the game. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Please leave a like, possibly subscribe it, and make my day. Peace out.